The club itself is modernchi. It's centered around caring for you, the creator, and social audio. It's more than live podcasts. It's what's going on behind the scenes, and we gather to connect on the creative journey, collaboration, and leadership lessons. For stage curation, it's how we're thinking about the people that we bring onto the stage. Is it wherein we've had a long discussion like outside of before starting the room, and having set up with people like, hey, I'm having whoever come and be a part of this thing. And so there's like that discussion that may have happened. Something else that you could expect or think about when you're creating rooms and discussions, talks, shows, whatever style that you're interested in. Um, what's your criteria? Like, how do you feel about vetting people to bring up, and also knowing for yourself, like, what's acceptable behavior? Like, just in the last room that I had, like, someone just came in and they started to raise their hand, and if I didn't have any experience in all of this, I could accept their invitation, and then it could really go in a way that is very far away from what the topic of the room is about. When you do go into a space, yes, try. It's always like encouraged to raise your hand to participate, but it doesn't really make any sense to just go in and raise your hand straight away, because um, from the spaces that I enjoy being in. So I don't know, maybe some people just, that's their thing and that's the spaces they like to participate in. That's great. But I feel like in order for everyone to make some sense of like what they're up to, like what they're talking about, and really wanting to develop some connections where they can talk more about stuff, and learn more about each other and build trust. I feel like it takes time, and that it's not so welcome to just put your hand up straight away when you do go into the space. I am talking about in the position of the mod, right? Who do you decide to bring up and accept into the talk? It's when we're here, it's not like we're on this radio show where there's a, kind of like the check-in area where there are staff working on like getting people who would call them, and then getting a sense of, oh, this is your question that you want to ask us, or in a public show, which is what we're on, because you can listen to this on a web browser. So therein, we're just doing all this work ourselves. And that's why if the replay's on, when we're here, we opening up these spaces, we take like an ownership or responsibility for thinking about being a little bit more careful or aware of like who we choose to accept into the conversation. So a part of that, people will tell you, okay, look at people's profile and see if they have something written in the profile, and also hopefully they have their social links out to Twitter, Instagram. So the functionality and the consent, or like, it goes both ways, wherein I could ask someone to come and they may come up to talk or not. And then if I do invite them, they would come up and they may join the talk. But then there are certain things that they can do even if they get invited to talk, wherein if they're up here, they'd say, oh, you invited me up, but I'm not really quite ready to talk, but I still want to be a part of the stage. And that, because for me, I feel like if you are up, then you can at least, you don't have to take extra time to raise your hand. When you do feel like you're ready to talk, you can just unmute. You don't have to like raise your hand or wait for someone to invite you and then talk. Then by then you may have already lost like what you're trying to say and contribute to. So yeah, so those are the things, like what goes on in the mind of the person who is holding the conversation when they're thinking about how to curate the speakers and who they want to bring up. And then the other side of it is the people who are listening in, and the role that they would choose, whether or not they'll accept to come and talk, whether they will on their own raise their hand to come and want to talk or not. And then the feelings around, what if you don't get accepted, or not really quite, yeah, not sure if you raise your hand, you'll get invited to join the conversation. And you know what? It's like, yeah, we shouldn't take it in the wrong way. Sometimes it could be that the format of the talk is like where they're accepting someone to come and join at the end of the talk, and also because that they're setting aside like a Q&A portion of the talk. And I suppose then, yes, as the mods, I can turn off the hand raising, and but you know what, that's it's not defaulted to that when I start the room, and why am I having to do extra work? So there's that. But yeah, so those are the things. And I think, like, don't take it the wrong way. Like, there was someone who came in and I didn't want to bring them up because I don't know them, and also they have made comments in the side chat that's irrelevant to what we're talking about. So that's my this is my room, this is like my house, and I don't need to be pressured into anything.